Okay, so a little bit of spoiler warning. So if you haven't played Xenoblade 1 or 2, go ahead and leave. After you play them, come back if you have enough time. But anyways, what's up, people? So this is about the returning characters of Xenoblade 3. Thought I could make the video about this. So obviously the new cast, they're gonna get their own development and stuff like that. But with the merging of Xenoblade 1 and 2 into Ionios, we're obviously going to get characters, returning characters. So I just want to go over the six characters that could return in the game and just some interesting points about them. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, starting off with number 6, we got Zeke and Pandoria. So, given the events of Xenoblade 2, right, we find out in Spirit Crucible that he's a Blade Eater, which is like taking a piece of a Blade's core crystal and putting it on a driver to help him stay alive from the incident that happened a long time ago in Xenoblade 2 that the game went over a little bit about. Um, so obviously we should be able to see him come back since he should be able to live for a long time like Mikhail did when he became a Blade Eater. Now he could be a part of the Agnes Nation and participate in this war between the two nations, but given how his character was in Xenoblade 2, he shouldn't be like that. So instead, I could see him like traveling around the world to Ionios, right? Maybe giving out some quests for the party members, or even doing jobs for both Keeves and Agnes on his own front, right? Or he could be at the head of his own little village nation, like how you know how the mercenary camp in Gorfont, Vanda, Xenoblade 2. Maybe you could have something like that where it's like a neutral place for um, people who are not on either side of the who don't want to be on either side of the war. Yeah, maybe there's a place where you can do mini games and stuff like that. That would be cool. Anyways, on to the next character. Right, number 5, Mumkar. So now I think Mumkar could come back despite that he did die. I know we saw him die in the first game, but it doesn't matter to me because I think he could come back. Now he is part Holmes and Machina from the first game, right? That's one of the main reasons why he could still be alive. Even though he fell, we saw him blow up. I personally think he's still alive. How? I don't know. But if we look at Wild Ride from the Mysterious Giant from the last trailer, the way how he talks and the way how he fights, it seems like how Mumkar would move around and talk and stuff like that. So that's pretty much the reason why I think he's gonna come back and probably be a part of that Ouroboros fusion. Now, obviously there would be other characters in that fusion. Now, who would it be? We don't know. But anyways, moving on to the next character. Okay, number 4, we have Azorda. So Azorda is from Xenoblade 2, if you didn't know, obviously. Now, he was in a larva state in Xenoblade 2, though, after almost dying in Xenoblade 2. But he did he did come back towards the end of the game and was a bigger Titan like he was in the beginning of the game due to Numa giving him that ability to do that. Now, some interesting things about him being in Xenoblade 3 is that he'd probably be the last living Titan in the game. And also, um, given the nature of the game with the vehicles and things like that, I think what would be really interesting is if he could be like the airship in Ionios and he's able to like fly around and things like that. That would be really cool to see in the game. But that's pretty much all he could really do. He could be away from the war and things like that. He could be sat out since he's a Titan. Maybe he's like real valuable. Or maybe somebody already has him in possession in this world. Who knows? Possibilities are endless with him. Number 3, and a much better character, Poppy. So, Poppy's a really good character. Like, one of my favorite characters in the series, right? So, now, obviously, since she's a robot, she could come back into Xenoblade 3, right? Now, in the base game of Xenoblade 2, there seems to be a bit of foreshadowing about the potential events of Xenoblade 3, like the scene you saw before I got into this, talking about Poppy. So like this promise with Mithra, has huge implications about what could happen in the future. So she could come back, but she could be an enemy, right, on the Agnes side of the conflict. She could be controlled by like Nia or the third party, because the third party could control Nia, but who knows, right? But it would be very sad to see Pyra and Mithra have to potentially kill Poppy, maybe. But we'll have to see. But it is a sad thought to think about. Number two, we got Elvis, who is Antos, obviously, because, little red core crystal looking thing in the definitive edition re-release. But anyways, so towards the end of the game, we find out about him being a Trinity processor, being this weird green thing. So he's obviously an Aegis, right? Um, and since this is the potential end to the Klaus arc, potentially, we could see him in a different format, I think, because if he appeared as like a little green star-looking thing, we could see him take like a different form in Xenoblade 3, maybe even a different name, but it is him nonetheless. Obviously, we don't know, but it is a possibility. And since this game has like mechanics coming from both 1 and 2, maybe Alvis could give Noah some kind of special power, like maybe he sees into the future, but they make the mechanic a lot better in Xenoblade 3, or it doesn't break up the combat like how it does in the first game. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we do see him. You never know. Okay, so number one, we got my favorite characters in the series. Right, we got Pyra and Mithra. So, like I said, as mentioned before, we've already seen some kind of foreshadowing of their potential return with that talk with Poppy. So, man, just thinking about it, man, like they potentially will probably kill Poppy, man. That is crazy. I hope not, but it's probably what's gonna happen. Anyways, another scenario that could happen is maybe they could be hiding out with Azurda when we do get in contact with Azurda. Because they could be trying to stay away from both the conflict of the nations. So once the party comes in contact with them, they could end up being playable characters. Maybe they are like a hero spot, which I hope not. Just let me play as a bro, please. But anyways, like with Alvis, how he gave Noah some kind of anime power, right? Pirate Mithra could give Mio some kind of anime power. Like maybe they could act as maybe blades for her, rather than her little chakra blades or whatever they're called. Who knows? I'm just coming up with stuff trying to get some kind of mechanic from 2 into this game, because this is what this game is doing a lot of. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, right? Alright, well, that's going to be it for your top 6. Thanks for watching. This is B-Dog here, and if you liked it, like it, subscribe, comment, and I will be covering more Xenoblade content and Nintendo stuff related. So yeah, I'll catch you later. Peace.